that you don't disturb Rachel's amazing training, and then I'm going to introduce her. Paul.
Oh, I need to unmute you, Mike. Hold on. There you
go. You muted me. Okay. All right, guys. Welcome. We got our team training with Rachel Gertschwich. She is a 4-star top leader, and I am very excited to introduce her. She's going to give us a complete overview of the system that we use, including Real People, Real Results, the new GoTakeALook.info website, and you're going to be talking about the training site as well, the onebigteam.us, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be a complete overview of the entire system, plus all the training resources to go and deep dive into it. So I hand this over to you, Rachel. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike. And thank you all so much for joining us. And I know it's it's time to unwind over in the UK. It's only 4:30 here in the afternoon. But I know it's like 9:30 your time. So thank you so much for hopping on tonight. And we do have a whole lot to cover. So tonight, what I would like to do is kind of just do like an overview. And then what we can do is we're going to start setting up some mini trainings and kind of break it all down over the next week or two. Does that sound good? Otherwise, we could be here all night. And it's really, really simple. Once you kind of get the hang of it, you kind of understand the flow, you're going to go, wow, this is easy. This is so systematic. I can do this. I can teach this. And, you know, in our business, in our profession, duplication is the name of the game. And we might be really, really good at what we do and what we say and have this personality that just is able to flow with people, and we can sign people up, but we can't duplicate personality, which is why we need to duplicate systems. Okay, and so I'm just so grateful that we have Lynn and Michael, and they are just absolutely phenomenal, as you all know, and they have literally filled in the only hole that I feel like we had, which I didn't even know we really had until they filled it. So today we're going to go through, we have Real People, Real Results, and today it's all about prospecting. So it's all about what do you do when you find somebody, right? We need to find the people to talk to the people that we find, okay? Whether we're out and about, meeting belly to belly, we're out at a social event or our kids' events, or we're at our other job, or whether we're on Facebook, we need to find the people to talk to the people that we find. So the very first step that we do is we want to send them a message. And I actually have 6 steps that I put on the files on Rising Stars. So you guys start adding your teammates. If they're not already on there, add them. I uploaded some UK files in there for all of you. I cleaned it all out the other day, so we only have the things that we really, really need to build the business. And there are so many other tools, so many other things that we could be using, but if we focus on all of that, it's kind of going to confuse us. It's going to confuse the new people that we bring on board. So we're just going to stay really laser focused on just these 6 things, okay? And then later, if you want to go take a look around at some of the other things, and as you bring people in, they'll start finding the other things, and that's totally fine. But if we can just kind of stay right here in this lane, the duplication is going to happen a lot quicker, our teams are going to build a lot faster, and everybody's going to feel very, very confident and very equipped. Okay, so these 6 things, like I said, you can find them in the files on Rising Stars, but the very first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to print out your Facebook friends list. Okay, so we've heard of creating your hundreds list, right? And there's a memory jogger, and the memory jogger is a little bit old school, but if you print out your friends list on Facebook, typically all of the people that have been in our lives, maybe from childhood friends, elementary, middle school, high school, college, maybe the people that we work with, our neighbors, our friends from the past, our friends from the future, we all use Facebook, right, to stay socially connected. And so that is a great place to start. So you'll want to print out your Facebook friends list. And if you don't know how to do that, I didn't know how to do that. I've done it 3 times. I still can't tell you how to do it. But on the files on Rising Stars are the instructions on how to do that. Okay, so make sure you take a look. It'll walk you through step by step exactly how to print out that list. And I think it just makes it so much easier when it's on paper and then you're, sending them the message and crossing them off the list, and you just go down the list and you don't want to prejudge anybody. Okay, you don't want to skip somebody and say, oh geez, well, they're a successful lawyer, so I should probably not send them a list. Because we're looking for people that either want to get healthy or they want to make money, and that's everybody, right? So we don't want to prejudge anybody or get intimidated by anybody. We want to go down the list and we want to send everybody the message. So number 2 is sending them the thumbs up message, asking them if it's okay if you add them to Real People, Real Results. And that thumbs up message is also in the files on Rising Stars. So you can find that there as well if you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that is the very first step. We're going to download our Facebook friends list. We're going to go down that list. We're going to send that thumbs up message to add them to Real People, Real Results to everybody on our friends list. Okay, so you can break it down. You can do 5 a day, 10 a day, 25 a day, 50 a day, depending on whatever your goal is with this business. That's kind of going to help you to figure out the kind of activity that you need to be in to get there. And if you kind of don't know, if you think, oh geez, I want to be a 1-star, but what do I need to be doing every day? How much do I need to be doing every day to make sure that I hit that within 3 months, 6 months? Then make sure that you get with your enroller, and they will help you figure out a plan of action to make sure that you're on track with your goals, okay, and your expectations. Okay, so number 3, all right, so now we're adding people to Real People, Real Results. And what does that mean? You're adding them to a group that has a lot of great content. Now they're in there, okay? Now we need to be very good at posting content in Real People, Real Results. We're going to do a completely separate training on Real People, Real Results over the next week or 2. Okay, so, don't worry about all the details, but I just wanted to let you know that if you're adding people into Real People, Real Results, and you're not adding content in that group 1 to 3 times a day, then the people that you're adding are not seeing anything. Okay, because typically it's not important to them yet. Typically, they're not going to just go to that group because you've added them to that group. So the great news is once you add them and then you post in the AM, it's going to go through their newsfeed. Then you post in the middle of the day, it's going to go through their newsfeed. And then you're going to post in the afternoon or the evening, it's going to go in through their newsfeed because you've added them to that group, along with all the other things they get through their newsfeed. But it's not weird that you're posting 3 times a day all about Isagenix because they've given you permission to add them to that group, right? So we don't want to do that on our Facebook personal walls and say Isagenix, Isagenix, Isagenix. I mean, I always recommend doing the before and after testimonial stories without using the word Isagenix on your Facebook wall. But you're not going to be that person that's just all about Isagenix, right, on our Facebook wall. And that's why we have the behind the scenes Facebook prospecting site, Real People, Real Results. Okay, now, once you add them to Real People, Real Results, okay, so now it's kind of like, okay, that's your drip campaign, right? You're posting every day, the people that you've added, you're hoping that they want to come on board right away, but I have people sitting in there from 1.5 years ago. But the good news is I know because they're in Real People, Real Results that they are seeing my commercial every single day, every single day, every single day. So I know if they ever think about weight loss, they ever think about making money, they're going to think about me, right? Because I'm constantly in front of them. And that's the point. Okay, so what you want to do, if you add somebody to Real People, Real Results, you want to send them a message 24 to 72 hours after you've put them in the group, okay? And you want to send them the Go Take a Look message. Okay, the Go Take a Look message, we're going to go through these websites here at the end. But the Go Take a Look message is also in the files on Rising Stars. Okay, so you can find that. And maybe the verbiage, maybe you need to tweak it to kind of make it comfortable for you. But the verbiage that you can use as your baseline is in there. And make sure when you send somebody a message that you always use their name. Hello, John. Hello, Mary. Okay, because that is the sweetest sound in their own head. And they just really, you really need to personalize it. Okay, so that is 72 hours after you've added them to Real People, Real Results. But you also can send that message because Go Take a Look is brand new, right, this week. We can also go all the way back to all the people that we've ever added to Real People, Real Results. And you can also send them the go take a look message, okay, for them to go take a look. So I kind of categorized it. I sent a go take a look message to the people that have already signed up, that have already been using products, whether they're still ordering on a month-to-month basis, whether they've stopped ordering. I sent them the message because I want them to go take a look. I want them to see that website, because even if they're on the products month after month, once you kind of review that website, which hopefully you'll do after we get off this Zoom sometime over the next several days, you're like going to never want to be without Isagenix. That's how good that website is. And the people that kind of fell off, if they watch that website, they're going to go, oh my gosh, I need to start ordering Isagenix again. Okay, and then you're also going to use that message to send to people that you've added to Real People, Real Results way back when, as well as moving forward 24 to 72 hours after you add people. Does that make sense? And like I said, we'll look at the websites in a few minutes. Okay. All right. So now you've added them to the go take a look. Now you're going to follow up with them again. The rule of thumb is always 24 to 72 hours after is always for follow-up. So I always do, 2 days after, 2 days after, 2 days after. So follow up with them 24 to 72 hours later and ask them if they'd like to set up a time to chat so you can answer their questions and see if you can assist them with any of their health goals. Now, the goal is always to get them on the phone. It's so easy, and I'm so guilty of this. In the first year of Isagenix, I was so guilty of going back and forth, bantering with somebody by text or by Facebook message, like 10, 12, 14, 20 times, trying to get them to sign up without actually making the effort to get them on the phone. There is nothing like them hearing the music in your voice and the excitement in your voice and the passion in your voice, and there's nothing like a phone call. Okay, so you want to always make it a goal to try and get a phone appointment. I want you to think about it like this. If you are a hairdresser, or if you are a doctor, or an appointment-based business, if Monday you went to work and you opened up your calendar and you had no appointments on your books, wouldn't you be like, oh no, like what is happening to my business? Like you wouldn't have a business if your calendar was empty. So we need to think about it like that. So everything that we do prior, it's all about getting that phone call and booking our calendar solid with phone calls. Because if we can get people on the phone, that's great. So now, what do you do when you get somebody on the phone, right? That's always the biggest fear. Like, okay, I can get them on the phone, but what am I going to say? Like, I'm scared to death to get somebody on the phone. Well, I have good news. We actually have really, really good scripts. I went to New Year's kickoff in Phoenix just a little under a month ago, and we had Eden Slobin, and I know she's been a speaker for you guys over in the UK. She's that beautiful redhead, and she put together some scripts, and it's called the discovery process. Am I unstable, my internet? Am I good? Good. I keep saying I'm unstable. Okay. So the discovery process is the script that you're going to use to get to know your prospect. So once you get them on the phone, there's going to be some questions that you're going to ask them to get them to open up to you. Okay. And these questions, like I said, they're in a file on Rising Stars called the discovery process. Now there's questions leading up to the very, last question would be, are there any other questions I can answer for you? What other questions can I answer for you? Would you like me to make a recommendation for how to get started? Okay, so after you go through the list of questions that's on there, you're going to ask permission to see if it's okay if you make a recommendation. And then there are scripts. Okay, and what you're going to have to do, and I don't know who wants to volunteer for verbiage, but the scripts that are on Rising Stars, they're American. Okay, so you have American dollars on there. It says value pack on there in the 30-day system, and your value pack is called the premium pack. So I don't know, Mike, if you want to, or Jack, if you want to kind of just look through these scripts and tweak it and kind of turn it into kind of fit you guys, and then upload it into a file on Rising Stars so that everybody can grab that and print it out. Can you guys do that?
Yeah, we'll sort that out. Don't worry. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. All right. Because the scripts are beautiful. I actually had a girl, Maury. She's been with me for almost the whole time that I've been in Isagenix. And so we were kind of chatting, and she is super, super smart. She's a brilliant girl. And she's just been having trouble closing. She's been having trouble really getting the appointment. I think more so maybe afraid to ask for that phone appointment, not knowing what she was going to say when she got on the phone. And so now that we have all of the ducks in a row and we have these scripts, I challenged her. I said, I want to see how many phone calls that you can book this week. And so she had her very first call on Monday. And she calls me up and she goes, oh no, the girl's local. She says, why don't we meet for coffee instead of getting on the phone? And she goes, oh geez, what am I going to do? I can't have the scripts in front of me. I said, it's okay for you to have the questions in front of you, because you actually want to have the questions. You want to have a notebook. You want to take notes. You want to listen till your head hurts. You want to be a very good listener. You want to ask a question. You want to shut up. You want to let them talk. Ask another question. Shut up. Let them talk. Okay, so you want to take notes, even if you're in front of them. I said, but then as far as the closing, the recommendations, you need to read that a couple of times and kind of get that in your head. And she goes, okay, I'll do it. So she calls me up 45 minutes later, and she was so excited. She sold a Pacesetter pack, which is our middle of the line pack, which is $3.99, which was phenomenal. And I was just so excited for her, because that just proves that literally these scripts work. And we all want to tweak the verbiage, and we're all, a lot of us just feel like we like, I always could close it, but I said the same thing in different ways every single time, and that can't duplicate. So we need to get really, really good at just going through the scripts, sticking with the scripts, and knowing that if we do that all we need to do is get the people on the phone, go through the scripts, and it's going to close the deal. It really, really works. So anyway, all of those things are on Rising Stars. So I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to kind of go website by website. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so this is Real People, Real Results. I'm trying to get this out of the way. Okay, let me take you to Rising Stars here. So this is Rising Stars, and right now we're having something called the 11-day Kickstart that's starting on Saturday. So if any of you would like to join us on that, the information is in the newsfeed on Rising Stars. These are for our clients. We're getting them to commit to 11 days, whether they already have products at home or whether we're kind of using that to get them enrolled right now so that they have their products. We have a special group that we put together. We're going to give them recipes, cooking ideas, exercise ideas, different things that they can do with their products, and just really encourage them through 11 days and help them to really develop good habits. So that's on there if you guys want to take a look at that later. Okay, so if you go to the files on Rising Stars, you're going to notice we have, it's just all the information that you need. There's no fluff in there. There's no extra stuff in there. I deleted all of that the other day. So here's the verbiage for private messaging, the thumbs up message. Here's the go take a look message. Okay. Here's the process for prospecting in 6 easy steps. That's the 6 steps that I just went through. Okay, and then we have another training that we'll do. It's called the process for coaching your new preferred customers in their first 30 days. So exactly what you do with them in their first 30 days so that you can really build that strong relationship so they stay with you forever. Okay, so that'll be in the future. And here's the discovery process. So what I would highly recommend you do is take the discovery process, print it out, put it in page protectors so that you kind of always have it in front of you every time you get on the phone with somebody. You're always going to have it in front of you. And then I'd have a notebook for taking notes, okay, on each person. Okay, so that is everything that you need. It's right here in the files on Rising Stars. Okay, so now this is our new Go Take a Look website, and it is amazing. How many of you have already looked through this? Isn't it incredible? Like this first one, if this is the problem, and this guy, this doctor's talking, and he talks really, really fast, and it's a little head swirling, all the information that he throws out there, but it totally grabs your attention and makes you want to keep watching. So you watch that, and the next thing it says, then you're going to love our solution. And then we have this one, and Mike, I knew you were going to love this because her website is not on the end of this video, which is so awesome, right? How we've been asking for that for a long time, right?
Yeah, very pleased to see that.
Exactly. So she does a great job at explaining that she's a little bit skeptic, and now she really believes, and she really explains it. And so that's awesome. So that's the only thing that's on the first one. Okay, and then the real results is great. These are all of the photos that are corporate approved, all the really good ones, as well as the ones that were in People magazine. Okay, and then how it works. And I love that it's really clean. There's not a lot of stuff on each page, so it's just really easy to get through it. It's not overwhelming. I love these new videos here. There's nobody talking on them. They're just music and bullet points, which is just very quick and just keeps your attention. So what's in your box, how to do a shake day, how to do a cleanse day. And then there's Discover Isagenix down here. Now this video, I know Lynn and some of her people, this whole website is based on psychology. And so all of the verbiage and the way that they put this together has to do with what is going to make somebody continue to go page by page. And then this Discover Isagenix presentation, it's like 30 minutes long, not even, maybe 25 minutes. And the woman on there, so calm. She does such a brilliant job at doing this presentation, and the presentation was put together based on psychology and what will get people to, go, aha, wow, and then actually want to start on Isagenix. So take the time, and it's down here, and it's kind of hidden because they didn't want to overwhelm people. You want to kind of just take them through the website. The people that really want the science, I love that they put this on here. And what's really cool about this, you guys, if you click on it, it's all clickable. So it actually opens up the document even more so. And then the Eat for Free, we know we don't have an Eat for Free club, but Michael Klaus does a wonderful job in 4 minutes kind of explaining our referral program. Okay, and so after somebody goes through the website, and then you say, you always want to ask a question at the end. Would it be okay if I touched base with you in a couple of days to get your feedback? And then you can touch base with them in 24 to 72 hours. Okay, and you can say, so tell me, what did you think? Did you have a chance to go through the website? And to start getting their feedback, getting that dialogue, that conversation going. And then you can even say, did you catch on that one page, did you catch that Discover Isagenix link on the bottom? Because if you didn't see that, you'll want to go back and click on that and watch it. It's a little bit longer than some of the other videos, but it's fabulous. And then you can kind of bring that to their attention after. Okay, so you want to try to get them on the phone. If you can't get them on the phone, you have one more place to go. Bring them into Discover Isagenix, and then touch base with them again. Get them on the phone. Okay? All right, so that is that website. Now we have One Big Team. So the One Big Team website is more like our training site. It's what we do after we upgrade to associate, and we want to know how to get to consultant, manager, director, executive, and then the resource tab is phenomenal, phenomenal. But how I use this with somebody is if I just got you started today, Mike, on a 30-day, okay? It doesn't matter which 30-day. Preferably the value pack or the premium pack for you. But if I got you started on a system today, the very first thing that I would do is I would send you a text with all of your login information, your auto ship date, that you need to message me 5 days prior to your auto ship shipping out so that I can walk you through editing it, changing some of the flavors, that kind of thing. I put that ball in their court so that they call me. I tell them to put it on your calendar, put an alarm in your phone, but make sure that you call me 5 days before your auto ship date. Okay, and then also I give them their total, and then I also tell them I want you to text me the day your box comes in because we are going to open it together. I want you to have a black Sharpie marker. We're going to set up a time in the evening that works for both of us, and we're going to open up your box. We're going to mark your bottles, AM, PM. I'm going to tell you where to put them around your house so that you can develop good habits, right? Because they get this big box, it's full of stuff, and they are totally overwhelmed because they don't even know what the stuff is, how to use which product, what time of the day. So that is our job. We're going to walk them through it. Okay, so basically I will tell them to put their Ionix, their Cleanse on the refrigerator with AM on there. Do a shot of each first thing in the morning. I'll tell them to put their Isoflush by their toothbrush so that they don't forget to take that at night before they go to bed. You know, just little tips like that, which, like I said, we'll go through that in another Zoom session. But what I do is while they're waiting for their box to come in, I do give them this website, and I tell them to go to onebigteam.us, log in with IsaLife, all lowercase, click on the Start Here button, and watch this video before their box comes in. So now when we have our scheduled open the box phone call, they're very familiar with what's in their box. So that call that I'm doing with them is a lot shorter, okay, because they're very familiar, because Julie does a fabulous job at walking people through the value pack. Now, you guys don't have all the products, and I want to talk to Michael and Lynn about that and see if there's a way that they could do an open the box video for the United States as well as the UK, because you just don't have it all yet, but you will. And then the Cleanse audio, and then there's a Cleanse document and a Shake Day audio and a Shake document. Okay, so that's as far as I go with a brand new person. And then the next training that we do, what to do with your person in their first 30 days, I'll take you a little bit further on what we do. But what I would like for you to do is definitely get familiar with this website, open up all of the links, go through each one. There's a video for each, okay, with links on the bottom. If you guys need to be inspired, if you want to build your belief, make sure you click on the 6- and 7-figure earners. They're all about 30 seconds, 30 to 60 second long audios on people that are, and these are great too. So if you have a prospect, you can always just copy this URL, because you don't need a password for this particular page, and you can send it to them. So like if you have somebody that's a financial planner, or somebody that's an attorney, or, you know, just anybody that can relate. But if you don't know the stories, you're not going to know. So you always want to listen to all of these, so that if you have somebody that's an attorney, you can say, hey, listen, Joe, I have, there's a guy, his name is Chuck Lyle, and he's an attorney and a business owner, and he's a millionaire with Isagenix. So I'd love to send you a URL and scroll down and look for him and listen to his 30 to 60 second audio. I know you'll be inspired. So use stories. They always say facts tell, stories sell. Okay, so use these stories and get really, really familiar with this website. Get really familiar with the other website. And, you know, like I said, all of the documents, all of the verbiage, everything is in the files on Rising Stars. So make sure that you go through that. I would, like I said, have a notebook with some page protectors, print out some of the things so you always have it in front of you. And it's all about practice. Practice, practice, practice. Everything's going to feel awkward to you in the beginning until you get your flow down. The scripts are going to feel a little awkward to you in the beginning until you get your flow down. What I would highly suggest is you get with a partner. They don't have to be in your upline or your downline. Grab a sideline. One of you guys, you know, just practice. Hop on Zoom one night and go back and forth and practice. One of you pretend to be the customer. One of you pretend to be the associate, and go through the scripts until you feel really comfortable. But don't wait until you're comfortable to start moving. Okay, read the scripts a couple of times, set up those phone calls, and just go, just do it, right? And then you're going to start feeling more comfortable as you do it. So that is kind of the gist of what I wanted to go through today. If we want to open up the lines for some questions, we can go ahead and do that.
Does anybody have any questions, guys?
Quickly, sorry. So for us, the best step is to download. Oh gosh, I didn't write it down. Discovery Process. So download that as ASAP and start learning them scripts. Yeah.
Yes. And you're going to read those scripts, but you just want to get really good with your flow. And
Okay.
like I said, you know, Mike or Jack or somebody will kind of tweak the scripts, you know, so that it kind of works for you guys over there in the UK. A little bit is different. So, you know, the sooner that can happen, the better. But, you know, you can definitely work with this. You're just going to need to kind of read through it and kind of tweak it in your own mind on what you're going to say. But especially the questions fit for everybody.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you, Rachel.
I have a quick question, Rachel.
Yes.
So first up, thank you very much for the training. That was really excellent. And these tools look brilliant. They're going to take a lot of pressure off people and make it really easy. I typically, when I share, or have been up till now, introductory info about Isagenix, I've just been WhatsApping or Facebook messaging people YouTube video links, which generally does work really well. You know, like why Isagenix, transform your life, start your life, all these sorts of things. So how does this process corroborate with that? Obviously, they're not mutually exclusive, but what are your thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm. And, you know, I did the same thing, Jack. So I would send them to Real People, Real Results. The very next thing that I would do is I would send them a Transform Your Life video. And I would say, this video kind of pulls it all together. I know Real People, Real Results can be a little overwhelming, but just know that it's going to be like a commercial for you going through your news feed. And then I would, you know, move on and try to get them on the phone. And then I would go through my phone process that I just had in my head, right? That I did. We had some questions, and then I would go through the packages. So I think that right now, what we really want to do is we want to fine tune this, and we want to get really good at just doing this system. And then knowing that if we still can't get them, like let's say we can't get them on the phone. I mean, that's gonna happen, you guys. You're gonna go through this process. It's not gonna quite work out the way we exactly want it to, and you're gonna get to the point where you're asking them for that phone call, and they just won't get on the phone with you. Okay, so then at that point, you gotta use maybe some more tools in your toolbox. You gotta maybe send them a video, like you had mentioned, Jack. Maybe send them the Transform Your Life video, or if they're into performance, send them a performance video. Or, you know, what else can I help you with? You know, you gotta, you know, we'll just have to kind of play that by ear, but kind of start with these 6 steps. Know that we have other things out there if we need to pull them out. But I would really try to stick with this and get really good at it. And I think as far as sending somebody the video, like the Transform Your Life video, in place of that for me is going to be go take a look.
Gotcha. Just, I guess what's interesting here is, like, for me personally, I don't have issues with enrolling people, but yeah, the duplication has been a factor, and this is going to make it more duplicatable. But I guess what I'm coming from is, I have like a YouTube list of 73 videos, and the more I converse with someone, the more I get to understand them, the more I'm going to be like, okay, let me send you 2 or 3 videos that are going to be really excellent for you given your interests. So this way, I guess, not to be negative or anything like that, but the websites being more streamlined aren't going to be as bespoke in terms of giving that person the information that is going to resonate most with them, potentially. So you know more than I do, so...
Yeah, I think when you look at the one Go Take a Look website, you know, you have this guy talking about how our food is so depleted, right? And
I've seen that video. It's amazing.
Yeah, so most people feel like, I don't have enough energy. I'm not sleeping good at night. I work out at the gym. I'm not seeing results. Like, they're feeling all the things that we all feel, right? And now they're hearing somebody that's a doctor talk to them about it. So that's really intriguing. And then they kind of jump into the woman on the bottom that kind of pulls it together a little bit. And then, you know, they're moving forward. It's building their belief a little bit more. Then you're trying to get them on the phone. If you can't get them on the phone, or if you do get them on the phone and you go through the discovery process, you're finding out a little bit more about them. Maybe they don't need to lose weight at all. Maybe they're all about performance. So then you can say, you know what, what can I answer? You know, what questions can I answer for you today to help you get started? Well, they might say, well, I really am more interested in the performance line. And you can say something like, well, okay, well, if I sent you a video, would you be able to watch that tonight? And then can we hop back on the phone tomorrow? And then you can kind of take a day and hop back on the phone, set another appointment. You never want to leave an appointment without setting another appointment, because then you just kind of lose them. So if they need more information like that, Jack, because they don't feel like that kind of answered their question, and they're intrigued, but yet they don't really see where they fit in, that's when I would pull out one of those other videos from your hat send it to them and book another appointment to hop on the phone, and then maybe say, okay, now do you have enough information? Would it be okay if I made a recommendation to you at this time?
Okay, perfect. That's really helpful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Can I add something in there, Rachel?
Sure.
So when I looked at this video, when I looked at the website and everything it does, first of all, I thought it was absolute genius. It does a lot for us. It tells people what the problem is. A lot of people don't believe that the nutritional decline in food has happened. It then shows you what our solution for that problem is. And then it moves on to the before and afters, which we would also send. So we don't have to send loads of videos. We don't have to send loads of pictures. You just send one smooth link and it gets delivered to them in one nice package. But knowing Michael and Lynn, Michael always tells me that the most common demographic is women from the age of 35 to 50 that need to lose a little bit of weight and want to contribute towards the household. So I very much imagine that this website is geared for that particular demographic, being the largest demographic, to keep the site simple, mm-hmm. rather than having a tab here for one thing and a tab here for another thing and nobody really knowing where to go. And it's catering for too many things. So I imagine that's the case. And if you've got a performance person, I would probably personally send them this website, plus maybe a performance focused video as well, to let them know that it's not just a weight loss solution. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. Do you agree with that, Rachel?
I agree 100%.
Yeah. So does that help a bit more, Jack?
Yeah, that's perfect, because that was my concern, because sending, like a triathlete, hearing a middle-aged lady talking about weight loss, as great as it is and as important as it is and as popular it is, it's just going to be like AC/DC. It's not going to match. So people need to hear what's going to resonate with them. So
right. So if you have somebody like a triathlete, then you probably wouldn't say, well, by the way, did you happen to see that Discover Isogenics link on the bottom of the third page? Like, you would say, I have this great, awesome video that I know you're going to relate to that I want to send you after you kind of look through that website. Right? Because that's why they kind of hid it down there, because it's not going to be for everybody, but it's going to be for the main demographic, like Mike said.
Yeah. So, which, by the way, not to be pedantic, it's 30 to 50, not 35 to 50.
Okay.
I hate to pick holes.
Yeah, man, sure. And equally,
don't I would raise that up. I would say it's like 55.
Okay, 30 to 55. But another very important demographic not to forget is the 18 to 35s, which is the start group. So if you get anybody of that age range, send them this website and then send them a video to the start group, because that's going to really excite them. That's really important. Mm-hmm. So you got to tailor it a little bit, but this website is going to cater for the vast majority of situations automatically for you. And then you might need to tweak it a little bit with a follow-up video depending on the scenario.
That's right.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions? Does this feel good, you guys? Does this feel like, wow, we know exactly what to do now?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's going to be so easy to teach, and it's not overwhelming.
Sorry.
Hi, Tamara.
Hi, sorry. I just wanted to ask, thank you for the training as well, Rachel. That was brilliant. Just to ask a question, are you saying that when you first connect with somebody, get them into real people, real results first, and then 72 hours later, then you send them a link to the website? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, I would go more to the 24 hours versus the 72 hours, but that's going to be your window for sure. But the thing is you want to open a window of communication, and it's very non-threatening to get a thumbs up to add somebody to a health group, a healthy living group. And that opens the door, rather than you meeting somebody at a restaurant, you become Facebook friends, like the next day say, it was great to meet you at at such and such restaurant. Are you into healthy living? Because I have a fabulous group, give me a thumbs up. Or just use the message that's in the Rising Stars group, the plain message. But it's kind of like, oh yeah, I am into healthy living. And they give you a thumbs up. And then you add them in there. And then now they can kind of get an idea. You're dripping on them lightly. So make sure when you add somebody to Real People, Real Results, you get that content in there 3 times a day. Make it really good. Think about who it was that you just added in there, and make sure that your posts speak directly to them. Okay, because they're seeing it come through their newsfeed. So now when you send them the Go Take a Look website, they're really interested, and it's not weird.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. But just one thing to add on to that, if they don't happen to be on Facebook, because there's some people, not everybody's on Facebook. So the best thing is to then just send them the link for Go Take a Look.
Yep.
And then maybe add a few videos and then see how they go with that, and then follow up from there, and then
and then get them on the phone.
And then get them on the phone. Cool. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Can I add a lesson learned in here, please? So when I first started using Real People, Real Results, I used it for a bit and then I stopped using it. And I've since learned very recently from talking to Rachel how much of a mistake not using Real People, Real Results is. Because what it does, even if you're good at closing, is it captures the people that don't say yes straight away. So if you put somebody into Real People, Real Results, then you send them the website link to go take a look, and then they sign up the next day, that's brilliant. But if they don't sign up the next day, you've already got them in your drip feed campaign, and they might come round in a month, 2 months, 5 months, or a year, or 2 years, 5 years. If you do that consistently over time, you're always going to have these leads that all of a sudden close that would have got left behind in the dust otherwise. And that for me was like a big aha moment once I realized that. You're not putting them in there to close them, you're putting them in there in case you can't close them right now, in case they're not ready yet.
Brilliant, Mike. Amen to that. That's exactly what Real People, Real Results is about. And if you put them in there and you sign them up the next day, and they're sitting in Real People, Real Results, they're also learning about all these other products, and they're getting excited because they're seeing all these excited people, right? And now they're going, wow, I didn't order that. I want to try that. And, so it is your drip campaign, whether you sign them up tomorrow, whether you sign them up. I have people that contact me literally out of the blue, like a year after I've added them in there, because they saw a post that I put in there, and it's like, oh my gosh, I saw something. All of a sudden, it resonated with them. There's always a moment in time that we decide, right? We decide to lose weight. We decide to get healthy. We decide to go working out. And if you're always posting in there, and you're always going through that news feed, you're always on the top of their mind when they're thinking about health, weight loss, fitness. And we want us to be who they're thinking of first. And so you don't want to hide yourself. You don't want to not be out there. It's kind of like that analogy, like this is our office, right? Facebook is our office. What does our window look like? So if you had a storefront and you walked by, like if you guys are in London, so if you walked by a storefront and it had its beautiful window, and the windows were clean, and it had this great display, and the lighting was gorgeous, you would want to walk in there, right? But if the lights were dim or the lights were off, the window is dirty, they didn't really have anything in the front to capture you, you'd probably walk right by it. So it's the same thing with Facebook. Make sure your personal walls are nice and clean. Don't ever complain on Facebook. Whatever. I always go back every end of the week. So around Sunday, I'll go back through my Facebook profile and I'll look through everything I post, and I'll say, is that who I want to be? Is that who I want people to see? Would I want to be me? Right? And so that's your profile. And then your Real People, Real Results, that's your TV commercials. Nice and clean and crisp, and and if you don't feel like you're creative, because that was my thing in the beginning, I thought, how am I going to come up with all these great posts? People post these great things in there. Like, I just don't have that much that I can come up with, right? So I go through every day on Real People, Real Results, and I save those 3 dots in the upper right corner of each post. If you click on them, you can save the post, save the post, save the post. So all day long, I make sure that I grab like 10. They go into your save folder, which is right in your left-hand column of your Facebook. right under your groups, it says save folder or save file. And then anytime you need to post, I just go to my saved folders. I scroll way down because I don't want to post anything that somebody else posted today. And I scroll way down and I grab something. I change the emojis. I change the first couple of sentences. And then I repost it with a totally different hashtags. And so that's where I get the content. So don't feel like you can't steal things from other people, because it's all about, we take them, but we customize them. And everybody does it, and we all know it's okay. So in the beginning, I felt like, oh my gosh, am I plagiarizing? You don't want to copy people because you just, it feels weird. But that's what we all do. So
cool. I'm just thinking about some tip that you gave me about the script and when you print it. One tip Rachel gave me the other day was when you print it broken up into paragraphs and print it in a large font so you can literally read it while you're on the phone, while you're still a little bit rusty at it, while you're learning. There's no reason why it should hold you back. You don't need to be able to recite it like you're a movie star. You need to be familiar enough with it that you can read large font so it's easy and it's broken up nicely so you don't lose your place. And then eventually it'll just become natural anyway. And we are going to set up rehearsals, guys. There's a few things that we'll go over offline when we're not using up Rachel's precious time, just to get the scripts going and rehearsals going, because we're going to make some edits and stuff. But we'll do some talking and we'll get things going, okay? Any other questions, guys?
Oh, Mike.
Yeah.
Hiya, sorry. Hey. In regards to the acceleration day, is that completely a no now, or are we still going to set up something?
We'll discuss that later, okay?
All right, cool.
Okay.
all right, Jack, did you have something else?
Yeah, I was going to say, and it's probably not something that we want to talk about while we're recording, but obviously there's been a slight personnel change, and are we going to, given that everyone's here, just briefly address that?
You want me to? I'll stop the recording real quick.
Yeah, cool.
All right. Hold on.